Luke 24:35-48. The moon shall not give off its light. When Bible translator Jim Walton first entered the primitive jungles of Colombia, he thought no one there had any knowledge of the Bible, much less the gospel. Then he met Andres. Andres was the oldest son of the chief of the tribe, and by occupation a tapper of latex from rubber trees. He lived a 3-day walk from the closest village and tended about 200 rubber trees over a 100-acre section of jungle. Andres had been asking himself questions about life, where we came from, what happens after death, but had found no satisfying answers. One night, Andres had begun fiddling with a transistor radio given to him by a rubber baron. Suddenly, he picked up a sharp, clear signal from a distant radio station. A man was reading Matthew 24, verses 29-31. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun will be darkened, and the moon will not give its light. The stars will fall from the sky, and the powers of the heavens will be shaken. And then the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven. And all the tribes of the earth will mourn, and they will see the Son of Man coming upon clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he will send out his angels with a trumpet blast, and they will gather his elect from the 4 winds, from one end of the heavens to the other. By strange coincidence, that very evening the moon did not give its light. Though Andres didn't understand it at the time, a total lunar eclipse had covered the entire jungle with blackness. The young Colombian was deeply stirred. Andres soon returned home, and the next day Jim Walton arrived unexpectedly, and opening his New Testament in front of the chief's house, he began to read. Andres was spellbound and said, "When I saw you reading that book, I knew it was the book from the radio, the book that had the truth. And when you said it was God's word, and you wanted to put it in my language, I was determined to help you." He did help. For the next 18 years, Andres served Jim as a co-translator, helping him complete the first draft of the New Testament and portions of the Old Testament in the language of his people. When you seek to share your faith, you become a disciple. Remember that God has prepared you by opening your mind to understanding the Scriptures. He has prepared the heart of your listeners to receive the Word, just like a hard-working farmer plows and prepares the ground in which he intends to sow his seed. Today we have heard a demonstration of how Jesus strengthened the faith and made disciples of the 2 men on the road to Emmaus.